vapes and he gets high.
But he's never done anything like this before.
Well, he did it to me when I was younger.
On February 19th, 2023, officers responded after a report of alleged inappropriate conduct involving a minor inside a family residence.
Hey, how you doing, sir?
Good.
Is there CPI here?
Yes, come on. Come on in.
Yeah, usually we meet outside. I was like, where's here?
Yeah, I was.
Okay.
So, this is a little complicated. It's alleged that the AP is not here right now. He's at work. For her to come in, she's showing some indication of but we're not really sure. So, just because she made those indications that something happened, that she was touched somewhere, you know, you're gonna have to call you guys.
So this is not your typical. This is gonna be real tricky.
Yeah, it's real tricky.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it is. But I'm like, you know, I don't want to walk away.
No, you got to make sure you shake every tree and make sure that you do a complete job.
Yeah, she was there, but he denied ever touching her.
Okay.
But she's saying that he homeless. He lives outside the car, but they allow him to take showers and stuff. But then she told me it was a agreeable sexual encounter that they had. I'm trying to find somebody maybe to come in the home, an extra set of eyes in the home for this.
Okay. Nitty gritty. Names, dates of birth.
Yep. Okay. I got it.
I know you've mentioned there's issues with understanding timelines. Do we have any idea when or how long this has been going on?
So based on the one who reported it,
That's
that's just the one
the
time that she saw them.
Yes, I haven't even
Just tried
spoken
gone
to
in?
her yet.
Okay,
I haven't even
okay.
spoken to her yet. But from what I'm saying, from what you reported, it was one incident.
Okay. All right.
So yeah, I do plan on interviewing her. I guess if you
know
guys want to talk
roughly-
with her, it happened 2 weeks ago. She said a few weeks ago. And I think she admitted to them that she called. And they had a little argument downstairs. We don't disclose, who the report is, but but she kind of told him. She said, yeah. So they kind of knew what was going on, but then they act like they didn't know.
Okay, well, let me go on and see you guys do your little interview and see what we could ascertain.
Do you think you want to speak with the child again with them? Y'all want to?
So for interviewing victim, because there's limitations on how many times that can be done by law enforcement.
Investigators say authorities received a report claiming an 11-year-old nonverbal child with autism may have been involved in concerning behavior with an older sibling inside the home. The report came from an 18-year-old sister who said she witnessed the interaction weeks earlier.
Yeah, we will.
Why'd I set the way to do this to calling sergeant to inform our detectives bureau?
But I need to get just a little bit of info on what's going on here, okay, to pass on. So I've been told you walked into a room and saw something, okay? Can you walk me through that, like when it happened?
So, it was on a Wednesday where I was going to work.
Okay.
And I was going to tell my older brother I was leaving because my parents were somewhere, I forgot, but so he had to watch Dylan. And so when I walked into, we have like a sunroom and he was playing Xbox. It's down to her knees, sitting on his lap. But like when I walked into the room, he like stood up immediately. And what I saw from an angle was that my brother's hands was in his pants. I don't know what he was doing.
Okay.
That's what I saw. And so I asked him, what is going on? And then he just said to me, oh, nothing was going on. She just sat down on my lap, which she never does. The only time that she would probably sit on someone's lap is me, because we get along like really well. She doesn't do it to my parents either. So I found that really hard to believe that she just sat down on his lap.
And where were her pants?
Her pants were like
At her knees?
Yes, it was on her. It wasn't like on the ground, but it was like.
Okay. What day this was? You said it was a Wednesday. Was it like recently? Like was it last week? Was it this past
I think
Wednesday?
it was like about 2 weeks ago, like February. It was like the beginning of February.
Beginning of February.
Yeah, February.
10-4. Okay. And does your brother stay here?
He doesn't at night, but my parents let him during the day.
So he's allowed to come here during the
He's
day?
allowed to come here during the day when they're here,
Okay.
but since they're in the garden or they do remodeling because they're doing something to the house, they told me that they're watching him closely 24/7, and I'm like, you can't do that because you're like outside or you're doing something, so you can't watch him.
Okay. When you say watch him, do you have any other concerns about him prior to this happening?
Just, he's like, I don't know, he can just do stupid things, and
Okay.
he vapes and he
Okay.
gets high, and
Okay.
so he doesn't think straight, so he'll probably do something
Oh.
immature.
Okay. But he's never done anything like this before.
Well, he did it to me when I was younger.
He did it to you when you were younger.
Mhm.
Did you report that?
I didn't because
Okay.
I don't know. I couldn't really tell my parents
Okay.
at that time until now.
So do they know about it now? Or
They know about it now.
so did you tell them when you saw this with your sister?
No, I told them before this happened, and then this happened after. So,
Okay. How old were you when it happened?
like in elementary school.
Elementary school.
We were both at the time.
Okay. Sorry to hear that. And was it just one time with you, or?
It was, well, yeah, we only did it one time,
Uh-huh.
but there were other times where you asked and I said no, because
Okay.
I didn't like doing it the first time.
Okay. Okay. And how old was he?
He's like a year older than me, so I don't really know, but I would guess, I don't know, like, he was probably 12,
Oh, okay. So you guys were both really young, because
Yeah.
you're 19 now, right?
18.
18.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So you were 11 maybe, and he was 12. Okay. Okay. All right. But aside from just seeing her with her pants down and him with his hand in his pants, that's all you observed. Okay. And he basically, when you confronted him, he just said, she just sat on my lap. Okay. And you said he was playing Xbox?
Yeah, he was playing Fortnite or something, I don't know.
Okay. So he was playing Fortnite.
But like he was on a break, so he wasn't like playing, but like he was on like a game. But
So the game was on the
yeah,
TV.
the game was on the TV, but he wasn't like playing.
Okay. Okay. I gotcha. And is he related to you by blood, or he is? Okay. All right. And he's allowed to come here during the day. Does he have a key to the house?
No, he just comes in through the garage.
He comes in through he has the code for the garage.
He does, but then sometimes he might have to like call me or my parents because we have like a lock on the garage because Dylan gets out sometimes. But
Okay.
most times she can get out. So we have to just call like someone in the house for them to open the door.
Okay. Okay. All right. And she's 11. She's nonverbal. She doesn't speak. Okay. What would you say her level of, I guess, maturity is? She's 11. Does she function as an 11-year-old? I know is she on the spectrum? She has autism?
I mean, I would say she does act like an 11-year-old, but
Okay.
since she is on the autism level, she might have like some like disadvantages of
Right.
being at that age. But
Okay.
she's fine. She's really smart in doing stuff. So.
Okay. All right.
But yeah, I also believe that she might be like smarter than
11-year-old. Okay.
11-year-old.
Okay. And that's just not normal behavior for her, what you saw.
That's not normal. It doesn't. She never does that. The only
Okay.
time that she was sit was on her lap is me with clothes on.
With clothes on.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. Does he? Where does he stay? Where does he live? Where does he sleep at night?
Well, it really depends on where he sleeps. He could either sleep at Wawa or at a park, but
Oh, so
he sleeps in his own car.
In his
He doesn't-
car,
He
okay.
can't sleep here.
How long has that been going on? That he's been staying in his car?
I mean, before my mom or dad said that he couldn't sleep here anymore, he was doing it before. But I would say that when my mom and dad did tell him, I think it was like a week ago.
A week ago. Oh, okay. So it's recent.
Yeah, it's pretty recent.
Okay.
It's basically like after the time that I told my mom that what happened with dinner.
Okay. And
Officers discovered her brother, and everything shifted when he came face to face with law enforcement. Officers already had all the evidence and interviews from one side, but now they had to hear his story. His reaction left the room momentarily silent.
you told your mom a week ago then? About a week ago that this happened?
Yeah.
Okay. And then yesterday you called DCF? Okay. Did you call or your mom called?
I did.
You called.
My name is Detective Carpenter. I work for the Winter Park Police Department. I was hoping to talk to you about a case that I'm actually working. Would you have some time to talk to me? Sure. Can I'd like to get, before we dive into it, I'd like to get some background information on you. Where are you from?
Vietnam.
Vietnam? Okay. How long have you been here?
20 years.
Okay. Pretty much your whole life?
Not my whole life because I moved to Florida around like 3. So
Around 3?
yeah.
And you just had a birthday, right?
Yes, sir.
So happy birthday.
Thank you.
Okay, so around 3. Okay, so maybe a little bit less than 20?
Yeah.
Okay. Because you're how old now?
20.
Okay. Okay. Did you come here with anyone else?
My sisters.
Okay. Who's your sisters? And do you know her last name? Okay. So, who else? Did you live with anyone else?
My parents. That's all.
Okay. And who are those folks?
I don't remember.
You don't remember?
Yeah.
The other people you're living with?
No, it's been a while.
Okay.
I don't. I just haven't really lived in a while, so
How long would you say?
probably like half a year.
Okay. And you've already forgotten your parents?
I don't really know exactly the first name, but I know like the Ashton, so yeah.
Okay. Now, isn't that vehicle? Is that her vehicle?
No, that's my vehicle.
It's your vehicle?
Yeah.
Okay. But is it registered in your name?
No, it's under my parents.
Okay. Okay. I just find it interesting that you lived with them for almost 20 years. You say that they're your parents, but now you don't remember their name. Is there any reason that you would forget that?
I have ADD, so and I forget things. So
That makes you forget things?
yes.
Okay. Because before, when we were talking about it, you said the only thing it did to you was made it hard for you to, like, answer questions and stuff like that. Okay, so that is part of that?
Yes. Yes, sir.
Okay. So, or is there another reason why you just don't want to give me that information?
There's no other reason, sir.
Okay. Just so you know, I already know a lot of this information. The information I'm asking you, I already know most of it. Like, I run the tag. I know who is actually registered to the vehicle, right? Jeffrey,
Yeah.
that's your father? Okay. So you understand where I'm going with this?
Yeah.
Like, so that's your father? You know his name?
Yeah.
Okay. Why didn't you want to tell me that?
It's really no business to know.
Okay. Okay, but wouldn't it? You're already lying to me. I'm just trying to have a conversation with you, and we're kind of starting off the beginning, and you're just being dishonest. To me, I'm just trying to get to the truth. You understand? Does that make sense? Okay. You know, I don't know. It makes it hard for me to understand if you truly don't know things, because it would be different if you were like, I don't want to tell you, right? That would be different. But you just said you forgot. So, forgetting, is that a part of your ADHD, or were you just not telling me?
I do forget things.
Okay, but do you remember who your parents are?
Yeah.
You do. Okay. So you're just not telling me who they are.
Yeah.
Okay. That's what I'm trying to get at. I'm trying to get to the truth, right? I'm trying to get some like honest answers, that kind of thing. Okay. Do you have any idea what I would be wanting to talk to you about?
No.
Nothing you can think of? Okay. Now you said you moved out about 6 months ago. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Is that like okay? So what happened?
It's family problems.
Okay.
I just didn't like following their rules.
Okay, that's fair enough. I mean, it's when I got turned 18, I didn't want to live at home either, so I get that. Okay. Was it that there was some allegations made?
I don't even know.
You don't know? Did someone accuse you of doing something?
Yes.
Okay. Do you think that's maybe what I would be here wanting to talk to you about?
I don't really like talking about that stuff.
Okay. I understand you don't
I'm
really...
not interested in that stuff. So.
Okay. I understand that you might not be interested in that, but I'm trying to figure out what exactly happened. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, I understand. I just
So-
don't want
so-
to talk about it.
Okay. So, and you don't have to, but I'm trying to get to the bottom of, like, someone's accusing you of something, and I'm trying to get your side of the story, okay? This is where you have the opportunity to tell me your side. Otherwise, all I have is the other person's side, right? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Did you want to talk to me about what happened that day? You don't? Okay.
No, sir.
Okay. Would you be willing to talk to me about anything else?
No, sir.
Okay, so you're just telling me that you are refusing to talk to me about that incident that happened.
Yes.
Okay.
Although initially he refused to cooperate with officers, stating he did not want to discuss the case and likely believing this could help him avoid accountability. Daniel was later arrested after investigators gathered sufficient evidence. What's your take on situations like this? Share your thoughts in the comments and subscribe for more real-world case breakdowns.